Good morning, Steve. Hey, T-Rex, you ready to start this day? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, here we go, and we're off. And it's 37 degrees. That clock says 7:03. It's 5 minutes slow. It's really 7:08 on, Wednesday, December 18th. And 7:08 is actually the time the sun comes up in Boston right now, so we're going out for sunrise. Got up early enough for a change that the lights that go on and off automatically, they have a light sensor, are still on. And I'm not wearing my noise canceling microphone so we can hear the natural sound. I don't think the wind is strong enough here at my house to create a problem. Steve, let's go this way. Walk the cat. Who walks the cat every morning when they walk the dog at the same time and gives a weather forecast? Oh, one person, TK. Oh, pretty quiet like this. So when the wind is from the southwest, it kind of goes down the hill and I'm blocked from the wind. So that's why we can get away with doing this. And I love watching the sun reflect off the buildings in Boston. And so with this microphone with the iPhone, when I zoom in, it changes to a microphone in the back of the camera. That's why my audio changes, but we do this and look over at the high rises in Boston. And we can see the sunlight reflecting off that one right there. I'm not sure what building that is. That's closer to probably Dorchester. What's a tall glass building in Dorchester? And let's pan up to the moon. And actually, why don't we start with some true art from last night? Rob Wright Images on X. He knows where to go to get the thunderstorms and the rain clouds and the rainbows and the moon rise over Nubble Light. Last night on the coast of Maine. Gorgeous. Cold moon is the name of it. 2 days past full. And you got the refraction of the moon light, which is actually sunlight reflecting off the moon, bending in the air there. Traveling 93 million miles from the sun to the moon, and then another 290,000 miles to Earth, bending light. And there it is. Same thing, that's sunlight reflecting off of the moon. Again, a little more than 93 million miles. And these lights will probably go off while we're talking. And it does sound a little bit windy. So I'm gonna come over here and continue with this morning. We've been talking about how this is Steve-centric, having to do with Steve Turnblom in Shrewsbury, Mass. We love his webcam and his weather data in the upper 20s with a heavy frost. Almost looks white there. It looks almost like there's a frost on your ice on your pond, which survived yesterday's December thaw. And it's going to get rained on tonight. It looks like the rain snow line is north of Shrewsbury tonight. But weather systems are coming at us fast and furious, as the sunlight reflecting off the buildings in Boston is changing fast and furious. Here's the national radar. Wow, that's a lot of rain there coming into the Appalachian mountain chain. And if we switch on the lightning, holy moly, tremendous amount of energy with this system coming in tonight. It's a strengthening low pressure system. Now, it's not going to bring all that energy with it. I think that the rainfall will diminish, but the fact that it's fast moving will save us from having really deep puddles in southern New England and really deep snow in northern New England with this weather that comes in tonight. Weather systems are going to come in every 36 hours. Our air this morning, here's the temperature map from when I woke up around 5:30 actually. And once again, with a light breeze from the southwest, it is getting colder from southwest to northeast. Cold air advection from the southwest. How many times have we seen that? 20s in Pennsylvania, 30s in Maine. And we had those places like Steve's house that decoupled, that got down into the 20s, even though Boston was closer to 40. Parts of Maine were closer to 40. So we're still warm enough that this next system is going to be more wet than white. T-Rex, what are you doing? What are you barking at? Should I look over here for something? Do you want to check the ice bucket before we start all this? I'll check the ice bucket. Steve, T-Rex, that's water. This is just water. Picked up 2/10. All that ice melted. We have this one other spot over here. Maybe the ice didn't melt over here. Yep, we're starting completely over with our ice buckets here in Weymouth. But inland, Steve kept his ice, and we are going to have air cold enough for backyard skating rinks by well before Christmas, probably by Sunday or Monday. Systems are all lined up. Here's I'm gonna cherry pick the data again and show the Canadian model for Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, and it shows temperature in the lower 40s today and again tomorrow with a period of rain tonight. It's going to rain hard, probably about half inch of rain. It looks like the rain snow line just north of there, and then it gets colder, and then Friday into Saturday there are the snowflakes again. Temperatures getting progressively colder, and it doesn't look like a lot of snow, but odds are going to hold steady at 50-50 now for a white Christmas in Shrewsbury. But wait till you see where they're increasing in a minute. The low temperature on Sunday and Monday is in the single digits, so we're going to have some real hard refreeze of all this mud. Oh yeah, Steve also sent a video yesterday. He works in excavation, and he says, Tim, this is what happens after you get a big rain, and then it freezes, and then it thaws. And he's working out in the mud yesterday. More mud tonight and tomorrow. What drought. And then it all hardens up for Christmas, maybe with snow on top. Likely with at least a little snow on top. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go for 60-40. Back to 60-40 for a white Christmas for you, Steve. Thank you for sharing that video and your webcam. So many Steves in the world. We have Steves that watch, we have Steves that participate, and we have a Steve that's the star of the show. And let's go now to, well, one more bit of data. On Mount Washington this morning, it's 15 degrees at the summit of Mount Washington, and it's in the mid-30s at the base. So that's a steep lapse rate, but it is cold up in the sky. And we're going to have to watch where the high-pressure systems go as much as the low-pressure systems go. So we're going to start it off with the global model. Let everyone else take the hour by hour for tonight and tomorrow. And we'll pick it up. I'm going to start where we've been stopping it for the last week. That would be 10 o'clock tonight, and that 10-11 low still forecast to be over Long Island. That has been the most consistent part of this Euro. And the purple just north of Shrewsbury. So the rain snow line is closer to Concord, New Hampshire, and the higher elevations from about Manchester, Vermont to Manchester, New Hampshire, and points north. That's where the 3 to 5 inches of snow are going to fall tonight. And let's put that forward. And we're going to watch where the high pressure systems go now. There's a high coming out of south central Canada, and things are moving right along, a very fast jet stream, and that is a cold high, so cold air advection tomorrow, and then by Friday morning, most of us are having a hard freeze. Now, I'm going to have to stop it again on Friday evening. That high is north of us, and we have a weak low south of us. Actually, it's strengthening, isn't it? But the important part here is that wind is air moving from that high to that low, and it spins around clockwise around the high pressure, so it's an onshore flow, and it's cold air coming across relatively warm water, and that is a reason right there to make it snow. Not to mention that there are so many dynamics going on here with that upper level low coming out of the Great Lakes and the surface low strengthening south of Cape Cod. It looks like the best chance for snow would be in southern and eastern New England on Friday night into Saturday. But I think it's also going to snow in the mountains just because of upslope and cold air advection. And if we keep that moving, note there's still some blue lingering, and watch this next high strengthening and coming at us as the storm over the ocean intensifies, but it's moving fairly quickly to the east. So just a very cold, very windy weekend. I think yesterday I said that high was going to be right over us and it wouldn't be too windy. Well, the high will be right over us, but not until Sunday night. And then we get a warm air trying to come back at us, but a series of low pressure systems are going to be on the southwest side of that high, and that's going to be a reason for more possible snow and or rain. Let's stop it now on Christmas Eve, actually just past midnight. Santa and his sleigh on the way, or just taking off on your roof. And this is 1 a.m. December 25th, and it doesn't look like much. There's a high to our north, and 1026 millibar low between those contorted isobars, contours of constant pressure over Block Island. That's a mini high barometer nor'easter trying to set up in eastern New England for Christmas morning. And even though it doesn't show a lot there, the fact that the wind's going to be from the east and it's so cold, once again, that's a reason for a surprise, although it's a week away, would it still be a surprise, snow on Christmas morning with marginally cold enough air. Yesterday it showed just rain, and now it shows a very light mix. And I got to tell you, time out, say hello to Steve again. The GFS is trying to generate a 3-day nor'easter next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And everyone's been talking about the torch. I hate that expression about how warm it's supposed to get. It is going to warm up, but we watch where those highs go and put it back into motion. And that high is north and east of New England, and that keeps us in the cold air. And if we stop it at 240 hours, this is now next Friday at 7 p.m., there's another system in the Great Lakes states, and the fact that that high is to our north, that means it's cold, heavy high, and the cold air is going to be very resistant to any warmth coming at us. So it could generate another wintry mix, more white than wet, again by next weekend. So a decidedly more wintry pattern setting up. Rex, one more minute. We'll be right with you. Just going to want to show this coast-to-coast snow for the next 240 hours, and a lot of snow along the Canadian border with the United States and the mountains. These systems are coming off the Pacific, one every 36 hours, and we're going to have to deal with them one way or another. Either forecast headache or coming right over us, and there are those dribs and drabs of snow, and if we stop it next Friday, and we see coast-to-coast snow, now this will be week 10 in a row for coast-to-coast snow in North America, and zoom in a little bit toward New England, you can see most of New England. I don't know if I showed this yesterday. It wasn't as snow covered in yesterday's. I don't think I showed it because it was kind of depressing, but it once again shows most of New England should have at least a little snow on the ground for Christmas. So I think I'm going to up the odds back to about 60-40, and I think the only place that is most vulnerable for not getting any snow would be the coast of Connecticut. And the reason Cape Cod and eastern Massachusetts is more likely is because of that east wind Friday night. So Friday night's really the first time to really watch for snow on Cape Cod. Cape Cod frost, as my dad used to call it. Not only just because there's a northeast wind, but there's also a low pressure system going by to the south. So we're going to need all our scarves. The viewers want to see Steve paw prints in the snow here by the weekend, and so do I. Some of this is wish casting. That's what happens when a weather forecaster wishes for some kind of weather. And even though a lot of the world wouldn't mind living without any travel headaches for Christmas, a lot of us young at heart do want some snow for Christmas. Well, I think that we're all going to see at least a little snow between now and then. And some of us may see a lot and a surprise. I think I still went for 17 inches at J between now and the weekend. Today it's going to be snowing at J tonight, so it's going to be day 2 in a row for New England snow. While it was 60 down here yesterday, it was snowing up at J Peak in the afternoon, so that was one day in a row. All right, so the Enmore yesterday, we came across a bunch of turkeys. I did some turkey chasing and found some compost on the side of the hill, and then we came out here and I don't even remember what we did the rest of the day. So here's the Enmore from yesterday. Talk to you again in 24 hours. Really appreciate your viewership. Have a good Wednesday. Hope you don't have to go to the post office today, but I think I do. All right. Steve, look at the camera. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye for now. Not a snow day. It's still 58 degrees outside. And Mitt is enjoying some time underneath this tree. And we enjoy seeing you and more. Mitt. Smile. We gotta get Mitt the Christmas collar next. Yeah, right. The sky is blue and it's close to 60. You know what we have not had out the door weather and more lately? Turkeys. On the other side of the house, there are ducks. On this side of the house, bigger birds. Never seen a turkey in the water. Wonder if they'd float. Look both ways, Tim. Oh, pretty colors. Look at those colors. Where are you going? I'm shooting with a camera. Not a bow and arrow. Pretty chill. Feel we know each other. Is your last name Smith by any chance? Oh, there you go. Do that again. Oh, Jerry, we lost some more branches last night. They're birch. Much too small for a flagpole. The Penske files. Very busy delivering. Single file, Jerry, single file. Sorry. All right, I'm done. I just wanted to flush you. I was kind of hoping one would fly. That's it. Thank you for the content. And more and more and more. Maybe we can get a rainbow today. Literally, it's about 60 degrees outside. Oh, woe is me. The neighborhood compost fairies have been here. Ooh, is that pie? That looks good. I just heard a Carolina wren. What else you got in there? Some cheese and some lemons and some lettuce. You can hear a Carolina wren. And more and more and more. Seriously, what is that? That's apple pie. That is apple pie. You guys like apple pie? Get that before Rex does. Got some cheese and some rice in there. Oh, that looks good. Worms would like this. Pickle, barely been used. Oh, muddy feet too. $55 to $60 all day. Ice in the other bucket's completely gone. I don't know if that one's gonna survive the night. We already found out though this morning. T-Rex running around. You see any birds, Rex? You see any birds? What is that up in the sky? This way, Rex. What is that? Yeah. Obviously, we know who's in control of the sky now. It's Elon Musk. Nothing we can do. He's taking over everything. All right. We still have Captain Spacetime, our pianist, with Up and Down, Round and Round. That's the name of this piano tune, with the time lapse of this close to record warm but not quite day, even though it's rain back to snow at J Peak. New days in a row with snow count up to 2.